Okay, I think we'll get started. So welcome to our annual Accessibility Public Information Center. We host this meeting on an annual basis to provide the public with information on our accessibility program. We typically host a session in person, but 2020 has been a different year, and we're happy to be able to host the session virtually. The format for tonight's meeting will be a brief presentation followed by a question and answer session. So our presenter tonight is Carmela McDougall. She's joined in the room by Chris Siddall. My name is Phil Johnson, and I'll be the moderator for tonight's session. We have a formal Q&A session at the end of the presentation. We ask that you type your questions into the question and answer box at the bottom, and we will do our best to answer your questions. In this Zoom meeting, we invite you to utilize our closed captioning option. Please select the bottom right banner and click on Show Subtitle. Now, I'd like to pass it over to Carmela to take us through the presentation.
Good evening. Welcome to the Niagara Parks Annual Accessibility Public Information Session. First, let me provide you with some background on the Niagara Parks Commission. We were established in 1885. We were created by an act of the provincial government. We receive no operational funding from the government. We rely on the revenue from attractions, restaurants, gift shops, parking lots, golf courses. We partner with education, tourism, and other third-party organizations. Niagara Parks brings visitors from across the province, country, and internationally. From April the 1st, 2019 to March 31st, 2020, Niagara Parks welcomed 9.1 million visitors. This represents the significant role Niagara Parks plays in the tourism landscape of Niagara and the overall economies of this province, our country as a whole. Diversity and inclusion is one of our corporate values. Our hiring practices ensure all job ads are placed in AODA format. In 2020 to date, Niagara Parks' total staff complement is 894. Niagara Parks Commission has a set specific goals for the organization, one of which is a welcoming, accessible, and inspiring place offering world-class natural, historic, and authentic experiences. Niagara Parks' commitment to accessibility is that we shall provide accessibility and accommodation for persons with disabilities. Our commitment is fully captured in our accessibility policy. This policy can be viewed on our website at www.niagaraparks.com. In support of accessibility policy, a multi-year accessibility plan was developed and approved by the board in 2018. This plan identifies by division the steps Niagara Parks has taken and will continue to take to ensure its goods, services, and attractions are accessible to all people of all abilities. It outlines Niagara Parks' action plan for improving accessibility in each of the 5 standards of AODA, which are customer service, information and communication, employment, transportation, and the design of public spaces. The Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, AODA, was passed in 2005. The purpose of the AODA is to develop, implement, and enforce accessibility standards in order to achieve accessibility for all Ontarians by the year 2025. Niagara Parks is currently compliant with all AODA legislated standards and seeks to continue making accessibility part of our everyday operations. As we all know, 2020 has been a challenging year. In spite of this, Niagara Parks did accomplish the completion of some accessibility projects, which I will share with you now. At Oaks Garden Theatre, accessible parking spots were relocated to provide better access to curb cutouts and sidewalks. At Dufferin Islands, a universal washroom was constructed. An adult change table, automatic fixtures, and an emergency call system were installed. At Kingsbridge Park, repairs were made to the ramp and an accessible door entry button was installed. Additionally, the renovations at Kingsbridge Park included the installation of an adult change table, automatic toilet, handrail, and an emergency call system button. At Queenston Heights Restaurant, an adult change table was added to the accessible washroom. Additionally, this past August, Niagara Parks secured a vendor of record to provide alternate format communications for accessibility. This allows Niagara Parks visitors, guests, and employees to request alternate formats of material. All through the year, our customer service team fields hundreds of calls regarding questions about accessibility and helping our visitors plan their trips to Niagara Parks. Out of the 103 inquiries related to accessibility, the top inquiries were regarding support persons, parking, wheelchair rentals, accessible attractions, WeGo buses, and service animals. At Niagara Parks, we are and have always been committed to ensuring the safety of all of our guests and staff alike. In response to the ongoing pandemic, COVID-19, special measures are in place. Face coverings are required at all Niagara Parks attractions and indoor public spaces. However, this does not apply to children under the age of 5 or for those who are unable to wear a face covering as the result of a medical condition or disability. New AODA signage and floor decals have been installed throughout our property to control pedestrian flow and to ensure that strict physical distancing is being followed. Our cleaning procedures have been enhanced across all of our venues, attractions, and experiences. New sanitization stations, some self-serve, others staffed, have been installed throughout Niagara Parks. Niagara Parks Commission is very excited about the redevelopment project underway at the Canadian Niagara Power Station. This facility will include an elevator to access the lower floor and fully accessible washrooms, making it available to all guests. This new multifaceted visitor experience is scheduled to open July 2021. In 2020, Niagara Parks updated the accessibility policy as part of our multi-year accessibility plan, a plan which we continue to update. As always, we at the Niagara Parks Commission welcome your comments. This recording and presented material will be posted on our website at www.niagaraparks.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Carmela. So now we'd like to offer the opportunity for any questions or comments. And again, if you have any questions or comments, we'd ask that you click on the Q&A button at the bottom and submit it that way. Alternatively, as always, as Carmela said, we accept all comments at our accessibility@niagaraparks.com email address. Okay, so it looks like we have a question coming in. Is there any mobility equipment on your wish list?
Hello, Joe. Thank you for the great question. I do not know the answer to that at the moment, but I will certainly take it back to our team, and we will let you know what the information is that we can share with you.
Thanks for the question. Any other questions from the group? Okay, well, that's a good thing. But as I mentioned, we do have the Accessibility at Niagara Parks email address that we constantly review. So if there's any more questions or comments, we welcome them. And thank you very much for your time. And on behalf of myself and Carmela and Chris, thank you very much and have a great evening.